Hello, listener. Welcome back for another Gabs sesh. I'm Stevie, founder of Graveyard Gallery and host of Graveyard Gabs, the Milwaukee Creatives pod highlighting our local art scene and small business. This month, we're joined by Tr3s.Ojos, a local business owner with a shop in West Milwaukee and the host of What the Hex Witches Market. I will say there were technical difficulties, but we did a re-roll and it was a critical success. Enjoy! Well, it's going for over a minute now, so that's take 2. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great now. This is the second time I've been here today to do this episode of Graveyard Gabs. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, I'm B. This is Omen. This is our shop cat.
Shop cat.
I am a queer Chicana bruja here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I own Tr3s.Ojos, which is the retail shop that we are at right now, and then I also host What the Hex as well.
Awesome. So since you have your own little shop here, what is the address?
The address to come see me is 4916 West Greenfield Avenue. I am super close to the Brewer Stadium.
So come get all your metaphysical and like witchy needs here.
Yeah.
This necklace here that I'm wearing, actually, I got from you early on, first or second meeting. And I thought it was perfect because it's like very industrial. And I was like, this is really hard, but also real soft because of like the little crystal here. And I was like, this is so cute. So I had to have it. So thank you for making it.
Yeah.
So you said you also do What the Hex. Please explain what the Hex is.
Yeah, so What the Hex is a seasonal witches market that I host, and basically you can find all kinds of like witchy spiritual vendors, art, free workshops. It's always a different theme, and this year for 2026 we're doing tarot theme, which is super awesome. So the first one this past couple of weeks ago was the Fool, and then the next one's going to be the Magician, which is very exciting.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. When is the Magician?
The Magician one is May 3rd. That's when that one is. Yeah.
May 3rd, that's at Dresden Castle, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. You're just so fun running around everywhere. I'm gonna grab my
be
water.
A part of this.
Yeah, of course. So these days, what is currently like inspiring you in terms of like pushing your creativity?
Yeah. I am definitely trying to find the balance of like productivity and burnout, and like really making sure that I'm self-aware of like pushing myself, but like not overdoing it. And so this was the longest that I've taken like a break from making jewelry. I made jewelry just like weekly for years, and I took a couple months off, which was like the last end of 2025, and then like around January or so, mostly more in February, I started remaking jewelry again, which feels very good after taking like my first break from that in a very long time.
Absolutely. It's kind of like you're wanting to make sure the things you're doing, like you're putting the time where you want it, and it's also like you have meaning behind why you're doing things in the way you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I hate getting to a point where I feel like I'm making stuff because I'm supposed to make it to sell. And then I'm like, that's like anti what I want anything that I do to feel. So the moment I feel that, I'm like, I'm done with this project.
Yeah, absolutely. Because once your heart's no longer in it, it's like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it to ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel that 100%. Wow, that just... I feel like I had an awakening. I hope that you listening also are having this like amazing moment in your head. Like, wow, we don't need to make things just to make things to sell. Like, make it because your heart's in it. And I think that's like a really important message for a lot of creatives in the area, because they do suffer this burnout. They do suffer like, oh, well, I need to, cover costs of X, Y, and Z. It's like, you do, but also you need to take care of yourself 100%. Yeah. That's what I was speaking with Seiji about last month's episode, was the mental health and like the journey of like self-discovery and taking care of yourself, which is super duper important. So What the Hex, that's on May the 3rd. Dresden Castle, excuse me. About how many local folks do you think you'll have this time around?
So for Hex, we usually have like around 30 or so. We stay somewhere within that realm. And then I started doing different markets and smaller markets too now in between. So there's always something happening.
Yeah, you always got something going on. So how long have you been creative in the sense of like the direction that you are now, like, how long have you feel like you've been in tune with your creative side?
Yeah, is a great question. I've been drawn to creativity ever since I was like young, like super into like coloring and just messing with stickers and paper, all kinds of silly stuff that you do as like a kid. I would say serious creativity started like right around when I started my business of just like understanding that this is something that I want to spend a majority of my time doing. And so I would say it's been, yeah, over like 7 years of like serious creativity, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really long time, and I think I wanna point out also to anyone that is listening or watching, there's never, like, a too late moment. You can always reinvent yourself, you can always start something new, pick up a new hobby. There's no too late when it comes to being creative.
Yeah, 1,000%. I feel like when I started kind of working in my small business, I was super pressured to be like, we hear it all the time, like you should pick one area, like niche down, and that's what you like stick to that one thing, do it over and over again, and that's how you get good at it. And it's like, really, there's no rules. Like I get obsessed with like certain supplies or get inspired by different things, and I try all the things. And I think that's like the most exciting part about creativity is like it's just trial and error. It's like whatever you're in the vibe for.
Exactly. Speaking of, finding the creativity and making different things, what are some of your favorite things to work on in the shop that you make for other people to take home with them?
Oh, that's a great question. My favorite things to make are I really enjoy making everything that I do, but I really like I guess the things that like kind of where people are like, what is this? And so it would be like herbal smokes. Like people are very confused by like, what is this pink joint looking thing that you have
Yeah,
here?
tell me more about that.
It's actually what I kind of like started my business around is that I was like obsessed with researching plants that you can smoke. Because we've been doing it since the dawn of time.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
obviously, like tobacco is like the most commonly used smoked plant, but it's a very harsh smoke that you get from it. And so there's like tons of other plants that you can smoke. And so I make different kinds of blends that I do either loose or I roll them into like these cute little colored papers and you can just smoke them. Like they're different scents and flavors and for different kinds of like energy. And so people are very thrown off by like, you mean you can like smoke roses? And I'm like, yes, but not like grocery store roses, like
Mhm.
ones with like out chemicals that are like processed like right and things like that. And so that's really fun to explore because I think I see a lot of joy out of like adults being like this cute little thing that looks like something else. Like, what is this for?
Mhm.
So
I was
those are
just
super
thinking
fun.
when you were mentioning that, not the grocery store, I was like, "Yeah, you don't wanna hit the pesticide. That's gonna hurt your
Yeah,
throat."
yeah, that's literally the first thing that people think of like, "Oh, can I use, like, roses from home?" And I'm like, "I probably not." Like, a lot of the times when you get them, 'em, they're dyed and they have, yeah, pesticides and stuff, but, like, if you know where they're grown from, you're growing them yourself, like, yeah, there's so many plants you can research and smoke.
You are just such a curious little cat, aren't ya?
Yeah,
You can
hopefully
smell my
she doesn't
kitties.
knock
Oh,
any of your stuff or
I'm sure it'll be fine. So what are some hobbies that you find very enjoyable that aren't related to, your I guess, your livelihood, whether that be creating crafting stuff or, like, witchcraft stuff? What do you do outside of that realm?
Yeah, that's a good question. So in the last like year and a half or so, I've really found a lot of joy within like movement and doing movement in a way that doesn't feel like pressury or like I'm bad if you don't do it right or whatever. So I found a lot of joy in like weightlifting and I also do swim training in the mornings. So I love that a lot. Swimming is like the one place where I'm not like constantly thinking, like the water turns my brain off. So that's super fun to me where I'm just like cold water sometimes just chills me out.
No, for sure. Yeah, my spouse B and, I actually just started going to the local, pool. Is it Poblaki? Pozalki?
Oh, oh yeah.
I don't
I know
know
what
how
you're
to say it.
talking about.
But
Yeah.
yes, we went for the first time last week, and it was really cool. It's $4 to get you in, swim all you
That's
want, and I
awesome.
was like, "We're helping our local parks." Like,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
and that was great, and I felt that, I felt that the next day, and that's
Yeah.
good exercise, 100%.
It is, and you don't feel like as strained, like, a lot of the stuff that I do is super, like, low impact. Like I used to be like, oh, if I'm not running, I'm not like, then you're not like working hard enough. And it's like, we're all taught that. It's not true. Like I
Mhm.
literally do these little tiny little like YouTube videos where I'm like, this is fun. It's just fun to just do like silly shit, move your body like that and have fun. And yeah, I agree that like supporting local is also really great too. So like the swimming that I do is through Milwaukee Rec. So it's at like high schools that you do stuff at where there's so many pools that like people don't know exist around us for sure.
See, I learned that myself the other
Mhm.
day. All this water talk has me wanting to sip some water right now. So I'm gonna, real quick. Are you looking for something new to do this week? Fill in a day with something different? Milwaukee Meetups has you covered. Wanting to volunteer with a river cleanup? Looking for a group to play Mahjong or Dungeons and Dragons? Maybe you just want to join a book club. You can join over 1,000 locals subscribed to the weekly newsletter. Go to mkemeetups.com, where you can search meetups on a list, calendar, or map. And the best part? It's all free. One more time, that's mkemeetups.com. It's time to level up and join the shopping tournament arc at Animayhem. May 17th at Dresden Castle, Graveyard Gallery is bringing back an anime and manga focused show. Believe it. That's Animayhem, May 17th at Dresden Castle from 12 to 5 p.m. If you're a Milwaukee area small business and would like an ad read, please email me at graveyardgallerymke@gmail.com, subject line, Graveyard Gabs ad read. Now back to the pod. Beautiful. Okay. So, seeing as you have a brick and mortar, like you have a storefront, what are, if there are any local or non-local businesses that you'd love to collaborate with in any capacity?
Yeah. I have connected with a lot of new people within the last few months that I'm really excited to do some future collabs with. I'm also very open to any connections that kind of come my way. I think that collaborating in any form, even like us talking together, like really helps take the pressure off of folks feeling like there isn't room for everybody. I like hate that so much when people feel like they're like, oh, well, this person's doing something similar. Like, who cares? There's room for all of us. Like, we need way more creative things in the world. So, I would say I am open to new connections for sure.
I like that sentiment. Like, there's enough room at the table for all of us to eat, okay?
Literally.
It's all about growth and community together.
Yeah.
And we can't pick and choose that. We all want to help each other out. And I would agree with you in terms of just speaking to people and learning what other people are up to, because that's how I found out about Dresden Castle was through you. And we got to speaking, and now I host events there, and I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for you. So yeah, you meet these people and you spark the conversation, and bam, you like are to a whole new world. It's
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely
And
amazing.
that's how we, like, learn and grow too is, like, this thing isn't working for me, like, what have you found that, like, really helps you in whatever way, and, like, about whatever. So, yeah, having conversations with people who are open is the best way for us to, like, grow as a community for sure.
What, um, how do I want to phrase this? What's like on your playlist right now that you can't get off? What are you listening to right now that you're like, I can't get enough of
Oh
this?
my gosh. My wife's probably so annoyed at me, like, talking about young Miko has me in a chokehold
Hmm.
so bad. Gap popped off with the collab with her so bad.
Absolutely. That advertisement straight to the 2000s. I was like, this is phenomenal work. Give this person a raise, whoever decided to do this.
Literally,
Oop.
oh, I knew you were gonna do something. Literally, like, it was so good, so just like any young Migo has been, like, on repeat right now. I think I'm just, like, so into her vibe and her style and her swag and the way she carries herself, and I'm like, I love just feeling that too. Just like any of those like baddie songs, I'm just so into them.
I also really dig their style because I'm thinking of the Gap commercial in particular, but
Yeah.
like the big oversized hoodie and baggies, like baggies like back in now,
Yeah.
which is so crazy because that's what was in like 20 years ago. But that's fashion. It's
Yeah, for
recycled
sure.
constantly.
It's crazy growing up with like skinny jeans to being like, I'm back in baggies is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, like especially like the whole Y2K aesthetic, people in like Jinkos,
Yeah.
wild. I can't fathom that. What is your go-to, speaking of clothing, what is like your go-to wardrobe piece that you're like, you don't know what you're gonna put on for the day, but you're like, this is gonna hit every single time? What's something that you need?
Ooh, that's a really good question, but tricky. I love that. I would say I love stealing my wife's just like this is literally her sweater. Like any of her like sweatshirts or anything, that's what's gonna hit for me every time because they're cozy and they smell like her.
Aw.
So for sure, any of my wife's like hoodies or anything like that, because that is literally why I wear them when I'm like, I don't really want to wear any of these kind of things. Let me just use this over here.
There you go. So how long have you had this lovely little kitty, Omen?
Omen has been here for a good while. She's at least 2. We found her on the streets of River West. Actually, while we were still like unpacking boxes, we like knew we wanted a shop cat, but we were not ready for a shop cat. And she appeared, and she's like, "Well, you're gonna take me home today." She doesn't like dogs, so she'd be like at home with me, but she does not like dogs, so that's why she lives here.
That's so valid. You know your limits. Oh, you're
Yeah.
trying to chomp
She must
on
have had
me.
some encounters with dogs or
Oh.
something. Yeah, to be like, "No, thank you."
I can believe that. You're gonna knock this one over too? You just want to play.
She does.
Um, let me think of because I'm off track. You're just taking me with you on this journey right now. Who are some folks living or not living that inspire you on a day-to-day basis to push your creativity?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say like my biggest inspiration art-wise is Frida Kahlo. She is just a joy, a really good representation for like queer creativity to a fashion icon, a cultural symbolism, and her work moves me a lot, like, seeing her I went to Mexico to, like, go see, like, her casa that she lived in, it's, like, the Casa Azul, and, seeing her work in person, I just, like, bawled my eyes out. I was
I
like,
can't imagine
"This
that,
is
like,
so
heavy emotion.
crazy." Yeah, there's, like you can see, like, her paintbrushes and stuff that she, like, touched, and I was just, like, losing it, and these people are probably like, "What is wrong with you?"
No, I'm sure that happens every single day, like, twice, okay?
Yeah, I
You're
would
so
hope
valid.
so, yeah, she's just awesome, and some like, the one of the first artists that just, like, really super spoke to me. And then I would say some more inspiration, is the Bratz dolls, which are, like, not real people, but they're a huge inspiration because
That's so iconic. Oh
it's
my god.
so baddie aesthetic and everything that I, like, wanted to be when I was, like, a kid, and then now as an adult, still everything I wanna be in terms of just, like, finding your own vibe, doing your own thing, and for me, they were also, like, the first dolls that I saw, like, dolls of color where I'm just like, "Oh, these come in all different shades," and so I'm really love them, like, still in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah, no, absolute slay of an answer. Thank you. Number 3.
Yay. Number 3, for inspiration is my deity, Santa Muerte, who I pretty much do everything around. All of my workings, all of my, like, rituals are somehow connected to her. So she's a saint of death, which is a beautiful representation of everything comes to an end. We all die. We're all connected. There is transition and death of things as apart from, like, living things as well too. And so a really good reminder for me of, like, why I do the work that I do, of, like, understanding that everyone is connected and that we all are gonna die one day and that, like, we really have to, like, spend our time focusing on the time that we have now.
Would you say that that's, I guess, like, a similar mentality of, like, death isn't sad, it's beautiful?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why I am so drawn to work t with her is because there is I think a lot of people just see the sadness of death for sure, which is so valid for sure. But there's also a lot of rebirth that comes with people, things, versions of ourselves dying as well.
And the cat did something.
She did something. She did.
Okay, I've got 2 more questions for you.
Yeah.
So this past weekend, was it 2 weeks ago now? Anime Milwaukee just passed by, and the Graveyard Gallery had a table there because you popped by, you said hi, but
Yeah.
you also told me that you were like hosting a class. Could you
Yeah.
explain what that was about?
Yeah, so Anime Milwaukee hired me to teach some classes in their VIP lounge. They had a magic theme, and so I taught spell jar classes and intention candle classes, and they had like the little lounge, like kind of shaped as like a little witchy school kind of vibe. I had like
That's
a big old
so
chalkboard. It was
cute.
super cute. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. How did people like take that? Like, were they super excited about it, or like what was their reaction?
Yeah, people were super excited about it. I think it was maybe a little bit more immersive than like things that they've done before.
Okay.
They also had like tarot readers there, and then they had like some other things that they had set up. And so I think people were very excited about the idea of having like real magic there and like a
Mm.
real witch, which
Mhm.
is like a huge compliment because I'm like, that is what I do. This is real magic. So
Yeah,
thank you.
that is you. And just like that, I guess it's like affirmation from other people who don't know you and what you do, but you obviously know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So they're really feeling this authentic experience from you. And I
Yeah.
think that's like so beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome. Everybody was so nice. I had people who like came and like took the class multiple times because they loved it so much, and I was like, this is just the best time. Everyone is just so happy to be like there doing different kinds of things too. So it was a great time.
That's so cool. Okay, I've got this one last question for you.
Yeah.
What are some tips and tricks that you would give any local creative who's looking to start out?
Start out like their business or their creativity.
I would say their business, in the sense of like they see you at What the Hex and you're like, I want to be here. I do stuff. What can I do to get to this point?
Yeah. That we get that question a lot. So I would say the biggest thing is just like figuring out what you want to do. I think a lot of the times people are confused as to what the right answer is, and the answer is like do whatever feels right. Like people want to see stuff that is unique and different and a vibe and something that like calls to them. And so anything that you feel like is too specific or too different or too whatever is probably like the best kind of thing that you could be doing. So I would say just like experimenting with things, reaching out to ask people questions in whatever way, shape, or form that is, whether it's like about pricing or booths or like where to look for events. And so I think just like connecting with community is also just like a really great way of starting out trying to dive into anything within that realm.
I think that's a really, really good piece of information. Obviously, getting into your community and learning and asking all those questions, I feel like that's a good baseline. But the takeaway, in my opinion, from what you said would be that nicheness, that thing that's too hyper specific, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because who else is doing it?
Mhm.
That's really smart. So if you're listening and you're thinking your idea is too wild, it's not. Just do it
Yeah.
and see what happens. I think it's a great idea to start and try than to always think and wonder.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I agree with that.
well, thank you for allowing me
Yay.
back into your store the second time today to redo this.
Of course.
I appreciate it so much. Tr3s.Ojos over here, Graveyard Gabs. We sure did gab. Tell them again where your shop is.
You can find me at 4916 West Greenfield Avenue in West Milwaukee.
And then the next What the Hex?
Next What the Hex is May 3rd at Dresden Castle.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
That's today's episode. Please follow, subscribe, and all that jazz so you can keep up to date on this pod. You can follow B on Instagram. The handle is at Tr3s.Ojos. Tres Ojos, but with a 3. This episode was produced by me, Stevie Salinas. Theme music is by Seth Thompson. Tune in next time for another Gab Sesh.